Spring is in the air as Hawks Vision heads back outside. This is the Hawks Vision Weekly Update.
Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the HartfordHawks.com Hawks Vision Weekly Update. I'm Keith Arsenault. With the weather warming up here in West Hartford and the spring schedule fully underway, we take you outside for the latest in Hartford athletics from the spring sports. That means the baseball team hosted their home opener last Wednesday against Central Connecticut. Let's take a look at the highlights from last Wednesday's game.
The home team struck first in this one as Brian Hunter's single to left drove in Andy Drexel in the second inning to give the Hawks a 1-0 lead. Next batter Chris Succi gives this one a ride over the right field fence. Hunter came around to score and the Hawks took a 3-0 lead early. Central cut into that lead in the sixth when J.P. Sportman hit a 2-run shot of his own, this one over the left field fence. But that's as close as the Blue Devils would get. Simon Kudernach with a single there. He drives in Brian Estevez to give the Hawks a 4-2 lead. And just for good measure, Ryan Lukacs, the pitcher of record in this game, he drives in Drexel for his second run of the game as the Hawks go on to win 5-2 in the home opener. After the win over Central, the Hawks went on a road trip to Manhattan, Kansas for a 4-game set with Kansas State. Unfortunately, they dropped all 4 games to their Big 12 foe, but they're back at home against UMass on Tuesday afternoon before a 3-game set at Pitt over the weekend. The lacrosse team also picked up its first win of the season, a 20-6 triumph on the road at Brown. Aiden Genick scored 5 goals in the game. That's a career high for Genick. The Hawks are back at Al Marzouk Field for 2 games this week versus Siena on Wednesday afternoon and home against Quinnipiac on Saturday. Softball had a busy week last week, playing 6 games, 5 of which came at the George Mason Invitational. The Hawks went 2-1 against the host Patriots. The Hawks head south for 5 more games on another road trip, this one at the South Florida Spring Break Invitational. And finally, the men's golf team heads across the country to Bandon, Oregon for the Bandon Dunes Championship, their second tournament of the spring season.
March Madness is in the air as the NCAA men's and women's basketball championships look to get underway this week. One men's team and one women's team from America East punched their tickets to the big dance and started their journeys right here in West Hartford at the Chase Family Arena. While neither of the Hartford teams made it to the big dance, there was one fly guy dancing in West Hartford. Let's take a closer look at the fly guy that you may have missed from before the America East Championship. That's all for this edition of Hawks Vision. Be sure to stay tuned to HartfordHawks.com throughout the week for all the latest from Hartford athletics. For HartfordHawks.com and Hawks Vision, I'm Keith Arsenault. Have a great week.